Do not become friends with a girl who has 0 friends and all she does is talk shit about her old friend group and her ex-best friend, because I promise you, you will find out why she has no friends. This video, we're gonna call her Underboob because that's all she posts on her TikTok and Visco. But basically, I'm from Calgary, she's a girl from Calgary, she was an online friend. This is why meeting friends off social media can either be a hit or a miss, because I hung out with her once and I realized she's crazy. The worst part is that I was friends with one of her ex-best friends, and Underboob basically brainwashed me to think that the other girl was like crazy, not a good friend, wouldn't be a good friend. So I basically cut that girl off. And then I realized that Underboob was the crazy one. A couple months ago, I was back in Calgary and I was going out with my best friend. So I decided to invite Underboob because she said she wanted to hang out when I was back in Calgary. She offered to drive, so she comes to my friend's apartment to pick us up. I was drinking a little because pre-game, I don't really drink that often, but my best friend made us mojitos. So yeah, my face got a little bit red. Literally the first thing this girl says, this is my first time meeting her, like 5 seconds after saying, "Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you." She literally goes, "Oh wow, your face does get red." I literally turned to my best friend because that's like one of my biggest insecurities, and she's like, "Oh no, like don't worry, it's not that bad, like it just looks like blush." If you're new here, my type is a sexy black light-skinned man, and my best friend was like, "Yeah, we have to go to this one club because that's where they're at." I was like, perfect, like I literally never go out, so I have no idea where to go. So we get there and it's like we were early, so it wasn't really that exciting. Underboob moved us to another club because she was not having a good time, I guess. And basically the entire night we were just going to different clubs and she was trying to find her friends, which like I really did not know that that was our plan, was her trying to meet up with her friends. So we finally get to this rooftop bar, I think it was Craft or National, and she finds her friends. And this girl doesn't even introduce us. We're just standing there. I feel bad. These people probably thought we were just like creeps, like following her, because she literally did not introduce us to her friends. Any normal person would be like, "Oh, I'm here with Josie and Casey, like I just met them tonight, we're going out, like blah blah blah." This girl is definitely the type to choose guys over her friends, because the way that she booked it to her guy friends and the guy that she was talking to and literally just forgot that she had came with us was actually crazy. I was not having a good night, so me and my best friend decided to Uber home early, and this was the most awkward part because I was like, "Oh, I think me and Casey are gonna go home," and she was like, "Okay," and I had to be the one to initiate. I was like, "Oh my God, it was so nice to meet you," and gave her a goodbye hug. But like if I didn't do that, she was just gonna be like, "Okay, bye." Like Underboob had posted a picture with me and my best friend on her Snapchat story, and literally on the Uber home, I'm checking my DMs and her ex-boyfriend is in my DMs. So I screenshot it and I sent it to her. I was like, "What is he doing here? Like, I don't even know how he found my Instagram." And she's like, "Oh yeah, like he DM'd all my friends tonight." I was like, huh? She was supposed to be our driver home, but she was very intoxicated and she wanted to leave with a man. So yeah, after meeting her that one time, I really realized that she was not my type of vibe, so I kind of just stopped talking to her. But the other day, she unadded me off Snapchat, so I unfollowed her on Instagram. I feel like that's the normal thing to do. Then go onto my phone, and I see a DM. It's like, "Girl, not you unfollowing me. You literally unadded me on Snapchat. Like, why are you being so dramatic? You made the move first." I could only see the preview of the DM, so I go to click on it, and she blocked me, which I just thought was funny because this girl is like known for just going through friends. Clearly, she needs to work on herself. She's the girl that will choose a guy over you in seconds and needs the male validation clearly because she just abandoned us when we went out with her. Is it just me, or is it weird that this girl would go through my following and follow random people that she does not know that are like my friends? And some of them, like, I have not even ever met. They live in a different country. We're online friends off TikTok. And I know that she is going through my following and finding these people because, like, there's no way this girl could have known them. I just thought that was really weird. I was like, "Girl, you really need friends that badly?" I'm honestly really glad that she blocked me because I was able to rekindle my friendship with the girl that that Underboob basically brainwashed me about, because I know that that girl is a good person. And now we can just bond over our trauma of having to be friends with this girl. I'm a little bit scared about what Underboob might be talking shit about me now to other people, because that's what she did to me about my other friends. But you know what? I don't think she has anybody to talk shit to. She's running out of people. She also doesn't see a problem with talking to a man with a girlfriend because she thinks that she's better than everyone else. But I'm gonna let her get her karma one day for that. At the end of the day, you get to choose who you're friends with and who is in your circle. So just be careful because people are not always how they seem on social media. And it's really scary when you meet these people and like, obviously, they can be very manipulative, but you just won't kiki with everybody. But I'm glad that I was able to rekindle with my old friends, so I guess this worked out for the best.
I became an EMT in high school. That means sometimes I was picking up my high school peers from 911 calls, and that was weird. The time we were picking up this guy that I'd been in school with since like kindergarten. We definitely knew each other. We were not friends, but we had to go pick him up because he was being naughty. Something about disturbing the peace and also probably drugs. He just needed like a psyche valve and a detox, but he was being naughty and he knew it. Anyway, we're about to pull away and the police on scene are like, do you want an escort? This guy's being naughty. And I was like, nah, I know this kid. I could beat him in an arm wrestle. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I think it's going to be more dramatic if you're on the rig with me. And he was like, okay, see ya. Bye. He's pretty fine the whole ride, clearly a little embarrassed, but he's like very compliant. He's like letting me take his vitals, sort of chit-chatting, whatever. But he's also like on drugs, so like who even knows? Get to the ambulance bay, he feels it stop. You can't see anything when you're in the ambulance, especially when you're like, you don't know where you're going. But he was like, I sensed that he was like, are we here? And I was like, yeah, it's just gonna be a second, we're gonna pull into the bay. And he was like, okay, so you wouldn't stop me if I ran, would you? Yes, I will. I, in fact, will stop you if you try to run. He's like, gah! Well, could you at least, like, give me a head start? And I'm like, I can't tell if you're joking, but I'm not gonna take that risk. So I'm, like, scanning my surroundings, and I'm like, all right, I gotta tell my driver that he's a flight risk because I can't stop this kid on my own if he's full of mystery drugs and running into the highway. So I lean through the, like, portal, which is, like, you have to kind of put your whole body in to make any significant noise. So I kind of like start shoving my body through and I was like, hey, we got a flight risk. Unfortunately, my partner to that day was just like old as dirt and could not hear what I was saying. So I was like, fuck. He like did not even notice that I was saying words. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, plan B. I'm like, I know. I can radio into the emergency department and ask for someone to come out and like play defense. So I go on and I'm like, hey, this is 511. We got a flight risk. Can I get a catcher out in Bay 2? They're like, Roger. Okay. I've now been like parked for a while and I haven't opened the doors. And so the guy in the stretcher is like starting to get a little cagey. And so he like looks me dead in the eyes, starts unbuckling his like 5-point harness and starts like leaning up to make a run for it. Now, sometimes I cannot even open those doors fully sober, so this kid who's never been in an ambulance was never gonna like fumble his way out of this like multi-ton truck, right? But like still freaked me out. And so my immediate reaction was to make that noise that you make when a dog is misbehaving, that like and then put my full Timberland boot on his chest. Not a kick, just a stoppage. The old and boot. Love that move. Anyway, that worked. And he was like, fine. And he buckled himself back into the stretcher. And I was like, stay.
The dancing table is this urban legend that says that the bodies that go missing in Lake Tahoe basically float to a certain depth and then stay perfectly preserved, or at least for a lot longer than they would otherwise, forming this table of bodies that dance in the water. Someone emailed me, asked me to cover this. I had never heard of it, but I did some digging and it turns out there is some truth to this. Not necessarily that there's a table of bodies, but a lot of people have gone missing there. And not only that, but pretty recently they found this body who had like floated to the surface, or I don't know if it was a diver, but basically they find him, they think it's a recent drowning, but then when they ID the guy, they realize that he had gone missing like 17 years earlier. This is because the water never reaches above 39 degrees, even in the summer, at certain depths of the lake anyway. But there's a lot of strange lore and eerie lore about Lake Tahoe. Hauntings, the lake being used as a dumping ground. So I searched my email if I had any stories, and I had one. Maybe paranormal, maybe not. You listen, you tell me. A girl named Sam and some of her friends take a girls' weekend trip to the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe in the middle of October. It's off season, so there's not a lot of tourists there. It's still busy, but like not as busy as it usually is. The second night that they're Saturday night, they're like having a good time. They stay up pretty late drinking wine and telling ghost stories. And at that time of the night, it just felt quiet. It felt like they had the whole lake to themselves. Sam and her friend Kaylin are giggling because they're like, we don't believe in ghosts. And so one of the other girls are like, okay, fine, I dare you to go down to the shoreline right now. Her friend is like, this place is haunted. Like, it's eerie down there. Sam and Kaylin are like, fine, we're not scared. And they walk down to the shoreline in their pajamas. Said it was like not that far from the cabin, but they didn't bring their phones, nothing like that. But they're giggling down there, and Sam's like, oh, it's so spooky. Kaylin's looking at something like beyond her, and she's like, who is that? And so Sam turns around and she notices two men walking down the shoreline toward them. They don't know they're men, but they realize it when they get closer. So the men get closer and closer. They realize that they're wearing suits. So they're not like hikers or people out for like a beach run. They get close enough where they can clearly make out that they are wearing like dress shoes. And so Sam says to Kaylin, maybe it's like a wedding photo shoot or something, but they're the only two there. There's nobody following them. These men are not talking to each other. They're just walking silently next to each other, and one of them's holding a briefcase. They're still a little ways off, but Sam and Kaylin get creeped out. They're like, let's go back to the cabin. So they start walking back up the beach. And when they're a little ways away, they turn to look back at these guys, and they realize that they have walked into the water. Like, they are just slowly both walking out into the waves. Sam and Kaylin are both just frozen in place. Like, they are just watching these two men walk into the water, no panic, no struggle, no splashing. They just walk into the water up to their chests, then up to their necks, then up to their heads, and then the lake just swallows them whole. And they were just gone. And Sam and Kaylin look at each other and they were like, what were that? So they wait for a second and they're like, maybe they'll pop back up. Like maybe they're just doing something. I don't know. But they never did. They were just gone. So they run back to their cabin and they tell the other girls about it. And they're like, who just walks into a frozen lake in dress shoes or with a briefcase? And their friend is just like, I told you the lake is haunted. They start thinking that maybe she's like in on it. She's like, how did you plan this? But they're not there with any guys or anything. And her friend's like, no, I'm telling you, like weird stuff happens here a lot. So Sam and Kaylin stay up pretty late and they're talking about it. They're like, maybe we were just drunk. Like maybe they were filming something. Like who knows? They try to rationalize it any way they can. But then the next day, they're in this little general store by their cabin and they tell the guy who's working what they saw because he's like, oh, how are you enjoying your trip? And they're like, oh my God, guess what happened last night? The guy's like bagging up their stuff and he's like, oh, it happens more than people talk about. Like, yeah, suits, ties. Sometimes they come back. Most of the time they don't. Does not seem bothered. He's like, everybody around here knows Lily keeps secrets and those guys probably just died in the lake and they're just still hanging around. So I don't know. She's like, I swear that this happened. I swear we saw it. My friend will attest to this too. And anyone from this area, please weigh in on this. I'm so curious.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I went to Texas a week ago and there was a serial killer and I didn't even know. I went to Austin, Texas to go and visit my sister because she lives there, and I posted a TikTok about it. I see a comment, and by this point I'm already in Texas because I posted it when I was maybe like 2 hours away from Texas. It was like, oh, be careful of the serial killer that's in Austin right now. I was like, what do you mean? So naturally, I tell my sister about it, and I'm like, is there a serial killer, like, loose? Like, what is this comment? Like, is this true? My sister is like, yeah, it's called the Rainy Street Ripper. There's 38 bodies found in Lake Bird, and the police is saying that it is a serial killer or could be possible drownings, which, like, how do you not know which one it is, you know? So I was just like, okay. And I want to say, like, a couple days into the trip, we ended up going to a water park. So we're at this water park like all day, and it's me and my boyfriend, my two sisters, their husbands, and their kids. I want to say it gets to like 6:30 maybe, and the kids and my sisters are ready to go home. So it's a water park, and then like there's a bunch of games and stuff, and you can walk down to the lake. It's not Lake Bird, it's Lake Travis, but you can walk down to the lake, and there's a dock, and you can swim and everything. So me and my boyfriend were like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to stay back a little bit and then Uber home to watch the sunset on the dock? At this point, it's like 7 o'clock, and we say bye to my family. We're going over there to sleep later because we're staying at my sister's. So we swim in the lake for a little bit, and it was really fun. And then it gets to like 8:30, and you know, the sun is starting to set and everything. I'm kind of getting like scared a little bit, and I'm like, okay, like how long does an Uber take? Because we've never taken an Uber before, and I was like, okay, like let's just check it and make sure. My boyfriend doesn't even have the Uber app, so we have to download that. We accidentally downloaded the wrong one. We downloaded Uber Eats. Yeah, trying to get an Uber ride. So when we figured it out, it was like 9:20, and it's like dark. Like, I don't know what happened. The sunset went like by like that. It was completely like pitch black, and nobody is at this water park, so we have to walk. So here's the dock, the water park's up here. We have to walk around like that, and we're walking and we're fine, right? We're sitting at the front entrance of the water park, and we see a van and a guy driving, and he drives past us. going 20 miles an hour, and we don't really think anything of it because there's a bunch, not a bunch, but there was like 15 cars that had passed us by this time. We're sitting there waiting for our Uber. That also took a while. So I don't even know what time it was. It was really dark and my phone had died. My boyfriend's phone was also about to die, so that was really not fun. As we're waiting for our Uber, the same white van passes us again. And I'm like, hey, like that van already passed us. And when they drove past us, they were like staring us down. Like him and my boyfriend literally had like a stare down. It was actually crazy and I was so afraid and scared. And he drives and I watch this van pull into a driveway. I got so caught up in my story I forgot to put this on before my concealer. But anyways, back to the story. This van pulls into the driveway, like down the road a little bit, and reverses and comes back towards us. As it's like pulling into the driveway, I tell my boyfriend, I'm like, let's go hide because I'm not dying today and I'm not getting kidnapped and you're not gonna get shot and then leave me to get kidnapped, and no, that's not happening today. I'm from the country and I'm not about it. Like I don't do like the city by myself, especially with just two people, like no. And I take off my shoes because I'm wearing slides, and if I need to run, I'm sprinting. We're at the front entrance of the water park, so there's this like ramp, and I'm like, come on, we're gonna go lay on the ramp and hide behind these plants. So I am laying down on this ramp, and so is he, and he's a big guy. He's like 6'4". I'm like not that afraid, but I'm still afraid because like what if this guy has a gun? Like I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm just trying to be the safest I can possible. I see this guy reverse and pull back to where we were going like 5 miles an hour. I'm getting out of breath talking about this because it like actually scared me so bad, and like he can see us on this ramp, I'm pretty sure, because it was not like steep, it was like that, and we were like crouching down, and I was actually so afraid. And we watch and we get up because the van passed. We walk a little bit outward, we see him pull in right next to the water park, and then these red lights start flashing, so I don't know if it was like hazards or I don't know what else on a car, but we see these red lights start flashing, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna get out of this van and come and kill us. Like, what do we do? In my head, I'm like, is this the serial killer coming to kill us? Like, it was a Mexican man, I think, and I know people say like the cartel and stuff like that because it's close to the border, and I was dead ass like, oh my god, like this is where I'm gonna get sex trafficked. Like everything in me was like, I need to run. Like I ran down the street and my boyfriend's like, Kaylee, just come back, like it's gonna be okay, like our Uber is 1 minute away. And I'm like, okay, like I'm like freaking out because I'm like, I do not want to die today or tonight, and our Uber's 1 minute away. Our Uber finally gets there. Thank God. He was literally a saint. I loved him. We had never taken an Uber before, keep in mind, and so we tell him about what happened. He's like, that's actually scary. And I'm like, I know. Like, and we have never been here before. Like, this is maybe our like second day here, and I can't believe that even happened. We got home and we told my family what happened. Keep in mind, my phone was dead, so they were all calling me like, where are you, like freaking out. Good thing we made it home. I'm back in Iowa. And don't stay out after dark if you don't know where you are, and if it's not a big crowd of people. I know I should have thought smarter, but like it was literally like a kid water park, so I didn't really think anything of it. But
story time, how I found out my homegirl was talking to the same people I was talking to and how we ended up fighting. So I was friends with this girl, we're gonna call her Kelly. Me and Kelly was friends in middle school, and Kelly was the type of girl in middle school, like she got in drama, but like she didn't fight, she didn't talk mess, but she was like one of them girls who like, you know, throw rocks and hide their hands type shit. But she never like really was just problematic. Like she was real smart, like on top of shit, but she would let people run over her low key. Mind you, this was in middle school, 8th grade of middle school. So we was friends in 8th grade of middle school, and I'm thinking we gonna be, when we get in high school, we cool, because we ain't never like fell out or nothing. We still cool on some shit when we get in high school. So, okay, y'all, Kelly, she already had friends that was in high school because, like, you know, her friends was, like, really surrounded of older girls, but I was friends with her, too, because she was just cool. So, she was cool people. I'm not gonna lie, she was cool people. So, we get to high school, the bitch start acting weird as fuck. Like, when she see me in the hallway, she ain't speak or nothing. She'll look at me crazy on some shit, but I ain't really just, like, I wasn't tripping about her not speaking to me because, bitch, I'm not kissing nobody ass for friends, but noted, and I'm gonna keep my distance from you, bitch. So, in high school, like I said, when we got to high school, we didn't really talk, and then it was one random ass day, I guess her friends was in that school that day, so she came talking to me. So, me being me, I wasn't gonna hold a grudge or nothing because I didn't really have no problem with her. So I was just like, you know, conversating with her, and we had skipped first period that morning, and we was in the restroom, you know. Yeah. So we was just talking and shit, and then y'all remember about Quay, about the last video? I was literally talking to Quay, and I was telling her like about him and like how like our like relationship was going and shit. And this was after Jalea, so me and Quay was actually like dating now. But I knew Quay was a hoe, so I really didn't like claim him as my boyfriend and nothing, but I was still telling about him because that was the dude I was messing with at the time. So I was telling her about him or whatever, and I like trusted her low-key just a little bit. I trusted her a little bit because like we was friends in 8th grade. We never had no issue. Like it was never no issue. So I was telling her about him or whatever. Then later that day, remember when I told you I had lunch with Quay? I was sitting with Quay at lunch. I was looking at his phone, and I look at his phone. I see a message from Kelly. I clicked on the message or whatever, and he's just letting me read the message. Like he didn't say nothing. He was like, you can read it, but that don't got nothing to do with me because I'm not really interested in her or whatever. So I'm looking at the messages. Y'all, she's sending paragraphs after paragraphs of how she love him and nobody never treat her like how he treat her and just shit like that. And in the messages, as she like pouring her heart out to him, he's like saying stuff to not hurt her feelings, but at the same time, like, I'm not fucking with it. But around this time, Kelly, she's a bop. She's a bop. But she was an undercover bop. So everybody knew, like, she gets around. So nobody really wanted to be in a relationship with her type shit because she gets around. So I'm looking at the messages. I'm like, this nigga, this bitch, this morning, am I tripping? So this is when the beef started, for real, after this incident. And then I was just like, I don't know what I did after that or how I went about it, but I know that's when beef started. So Kelly was the type of girl, she was always in something. I was always in something too, but she was just always in something. And she kept having her inputs about like stuff that I had going on. So we would started like just, you know, knick-knacking in the hallway and shit on Instagram type shit like that. Okay, fast forward. It's like 2-3 months later into the school year. I'm not talking to Quay no more. Me and Jordan still don't fuck with each other. I don't fuck with that bitch at all. And Jordan was so fucking wishy-washy. Like, we was cool. Like, one time, she literally was looking for me. She was like, oh, let's go to the restroom and hit this order. I'm like, all right, bet. We walking around. I'm like, the restroom right here. Where you going? This bitch gonna walk up to another girl, and then the girl gonna try to check me. She tried to check me on some weird shit. And I'm like, Jordan, you brought me over here so this girl could check me. Like, who is you, bitch? What are you doing? Like, that was a red flag right there. But I still just, I don't know. Like, y'all, I didn't really press the issue for real. And then a month later, something else happened. This boy around in our, like, area, he had passed away, whatever. And I guess he was close with Jordan. And then it was a rumor going around that I said something about the boy or whatever. And I didn't. All I did was walk in the library when they was, like, I guess, what you call it? They was grieving him or whatever in the library, and I had walked in there because I didn't know what was going on, but I walked in there, and then when I seen what was going on, I immediately walked out, and then they felt offended by that. So at lunch later, they all came check me, and Jordan was just the main one, just popping. I'm looking at, I'm saying, Jordan, I know you not like that. Stop playing with me. But I let that slide. I let that situation slide too. I let her pop it right there then, because I also ran track, so I couldn't really fight at school and then. So I'm just like, you know what? Noted. So then fast forward like a month or two later, I was talking to this boy. We gonna call him Mike. Mike was like this football player or whatever. I was talking to him for like mainly the whole school year, and Jordan would just not stay from around him. Like, it's like everywhere he was, she was. Like, I would skip and go to his lunch sometimes just to scope the scenery out. And then I would just see her all up in his face and shit. And then when I was around, she would never speak to him or talk to him. So when I would see them talking and shit, I had asked him about it because I didn't even know they was friends. And he was like, oh, she was just my best friend. Red flag. So I'm like, all right. Like a week later, I went to his phone. I'm looking through his messages and he calling her like, she calling him baby and shit like that. And she knows we date. Mind you, everybody knew we dated. And I'm like, why is this bitch keep talking to every dude I'm talking to? Like, what is going on? So the next day after that, I kind of like went to lunch and I kind of checked on some shit because like, bitch, now it's getting out of hand. Like, it's getting out of hand. So Kelly was one of the girls to like, at lunch, she would just surround herself with boys. Like, it's just crazy. She's so boy crazy. She was surrounding herself with boys or whatever. So I went to the table and I'm like, I'm just standing there. I ain't even saying nothing. I'm just standing there. She say something, so I checked her. She stood up, popping in like she was gonna do something. We arguing at the table, and I'm just looking at her like, when did this girl grow some balls? She's not like that. Like, bitch, you get in high school and your whole personality changed. Bitch, what? So, y'all, Kelly is way bigger than me. Like, y'all, I said the last girl was way bigger than me, but, like, y'all, she's way bigger than me. Y'all gonna see that in this video. Like, she's tall. She's way bigger than me. So, I wasn't really even trying to, like, fight her. Like, I was gonna have my cousin handle that, bitch. You're not even my size. So, another situation happened with her. She had ended up fighting somebody at a party, whatever. Somebody I was cool with. And I had said the fight wasn't a fair fight for real. Because, like, the girl that she fought is little like me. Like, and I don't even think Kelly won the fight. But, like, you know, she had a lot of support. So, people really hyped her head up. So, they was on live or whatever. They was on live. And I joined the live. I didn't say nothing on the live. I didn't say nothing on the live. All I did was join the live. Like, everybody from my school on the live, knowing about the tea. I want to know, too. So, I joined. And when I joined, all I hear is, and Samaj, let's not get on you because your nigga was trying to man with me. I'm like, Jordan, I commented. I said, Jordan, I'm sick of you. We gonna get that. We gonna get that. And she was like, all right, bet Monday I'm on that. So me being me and me knowing Kelly, I didn't believe she was on that. Like, I was going to school by my day. I swear I didn't think she was on that. So it's around lunchtime or whatever. I seen her, actually in the morning, I seen her by herself walking. Like, I seen she had just got her lashes done and some more shit. I seen her walking by herself. She wasn't worried about me. She walked dead past me, y'all. Dead past me. So it's lunch. You know, she get with her friend. She got with her friend group. When she got with her friend group, she had two of them walk up to me and say, come to the restroom. I said, I'm not going to the restroom. It's how many of y'all? 6 of y'all. I'm not going to no restroom. Fuck. If you want to fight, we right here. You said Monday, I'm on that. What's up? I'm in the hallway trying to fight her right then and there. She said go to the restroom. I said I was going to the restroom. So she had all her and her friends, they left. So I was a little late to class, and that's when I was walking to class after the bell. The hallways was empty, and I seen them in the restroom, and they was like, oh, there she go right there. And I was like, I couldn't walk away because I couldn't see the pussy, so I went in there and I fought her. And I'm going to post the video.
Am I wrong for telling a friend exactly why my wife and I wouldn't go on a trip with her? My wife and I, both 32, both female, have a friend named Anna, 33 female. Anna is so sweet, very funny. It can also be very naive. While this isn't always a bad thing, she is at times ignorant of how the world works and news, etc. Anna has family that owns a large vacation property in another country. She's long wanted to take a friend's trip there and is finally planning on doing so. Multiple people have been invited, and this past weekend when she and I got coffee, my wife and I were invited. The problem is, homosexuality is criminalized in this country. In case you missed it, I am a woman married to a woman, and I would not feel safe traveling there. I would especially be worried about my wife. She has a very classic butch look, whereas I am more feminine. I know a lot of times these laws would pertain more towards gay men, but still, we would not feel safe, and that's what matters. I told Anna no, I'm sorry, but my wife and I would not be able to travel there. Well, she pressed why, and I said, because we're gay. That country criminalizes gay people. She just said, oh, and kind of awkwardly changed the topic. Later, though, I got a text. She said she felt I embarrassed her for not knowing, and while she didn't know, it's not like she's homophobic or anything. Just that she wants to go on a trip there, and why did I have to be so blunt about it? I'm really frustrated, and also I feel bad. I'm not sure why. I guess I could have made an excuse. That airfare is pricey right now, or we had something else planned out, but my wife is saying I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. So am I the asshole? She has an edit and she goes, I forgot to add, but I didn't want to include which country because I felt it was wrong. The government makes these choices, and I would feel bad putting the blame on a whole country that certainly has an LGBTQ population, hidden or not. It's in the Middle East, and that's all I'll say.